I love trespassing. There's just something so fun about being places that you shouldn't be. It almost feels like a real life out of bounds glitch, except you're not clipping through walls, you're just ignoring the law. I recently went trespassing into a neighborhood under construction, and it was very interesting.
Oh shit!
This night, I was having a sleepover with my good buddy Roman. We hadn't seen each other in a minute, so we were wanting to do some real tomfoolery this night, because some friendships are just like that. His neighborhood was being expanded on at the time, so we conjured up the idea of jumping the fence and checking out whatever was being built over there. As you saw in the video earlier, the weather was a little intense at this time, but despite that, we still went out to explore. We got to the fence that blocked people out of the construction site, jumped the fence, and started exploring around the place. It was super weird because the roads were completely finished, but not a single house was. Imagine walking through a neighborhood, but every house just isn't finished. It kind of felt like one of those back rooms floors. I started doing this meme where I would run to the porta potties and hit my back against them, and it made a loud noise, so it was funny. But as we walked further into the construction zone, we noticed this.
What is that? Fuck, we gotta go.
But we shrugged off the camera because we still hadn't gone through any of the houses at this point. But we knew we had to make it quick. We explored one of the houses being built, and it was only wood and a bathtub with this strange liquid in it.
What's going on with my house right now? This is what happens when you don't pay your rent.
The rain really started to come down at this point, and considering the camera we saw earlier, we decided to get out of there, which was pretty disappointing because it was such a short amount of time. But if something else didn't happen, I wouldn't be telling this story, would I? As we were walking back to the gate we jumped over, we started to hear police sirens. So we quickly got on the floor and hid behind this little wall. As we laid on the floor, we just prayed that the cops weren't coming for us. In dire situations, everyone suddenly becomes a Christian, bro. We were praying for our lives. But as time passed, the police sirens only got louder and louder until we saw the car turn the corner and pull up right next to the same gate we jumped over to get in here. The cop got out, opened the gate, and started looking around the construction zone with his flashlight. We were shitting ourselves. We couldn't go back to jail, bro. I did my time. But we were away from the construction zone at this point, so he just walked past us and started looking through the houses. It would have been too risky to jump the fence at this point, because if he turned around, it would be all over. He'd see us. But we were also just too exposed laying on the ground. So as the cop had his back turned to us, we quietly snuck into one of the porta potties that were nearby, and we just had to wait him out in this stinky little cramped area together. And it took a long time. This dude took an eternity to search these houses. It was probably 30 minutes of waiting in the goddamn porta potty. After all that time passed, we were getting bored as fuck, so Roman took out his phone. Now, Roman is a dumbass because while he thought to turn his brightness down, he didn't think to turn his volume down. So this dude loads up Clash of Clans, and it has the loudest startup sound of any app in the world. This shit was so loud. If it wasn't for the harsh weather conditions of this night, I'm certain the cop would have heard from the porta potty. After an eternity had passed, he got in his car and drove away. So we jumped out of the porta potty, jumped the fence, and started walking back to Roman's place. As we were walking back, the cop passed us in his car while we were on the sidewalk. I had never attempted to act like an NPC more in my life than in this moment. He drove by the two of us and we just sprinted all the way back. Later that night, we fucked around a little more. We bought some cigarettes. I smoked one for the first time and I got this cool picture, but to be honest, I was disappointed by cigarettes. Roman and I ended up smoking a ton of weed and watching Tom and Jerry on YouTube, the Italian version specifically. And don't ask me how Tom and Jerry can be in Italian. They don't even speak in that show. But we ended up having a good night, and that's the story. So, bye.
Bro, take off your socks. It feels godly.